What is up, everybody? Today's episode, we are going over
5 keys to a healthy relationship.
2 men who are not married are about to tell you what the 5 keys are to a relationship.
So true.
Isn't
so
that
true.
great?
Neither of us are married.
neither of us
have
are married.
never been married.
I've never been married. Right.
I'm in a relationship though currently.
That makes one of us.
Yep.
But I am talking to somebody.
Yes, and we both have been through multiple relationships. You know, let's say multiple, but
Yeah, it makes us sound bad.
yeah, we're not.
I've been through 50 women. No.
Yeah. But we have an experience, you know, in a relationship. So we are going to go over 5 things that we feel are the most important.
Top 5. Top 5.
And what we're going
Top 5.
And what we're going to do is we're going to go in reverse order. So the most important is going to be last.
Right. Yeah, we're going to start from number 5 and work our way up to number 1.
Correcto mundo.
Right. So we spoke a little bit about this to each other on the phone.
Yeah.
Kind of gauge where we think the top 5 are.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about top 5. You could do top 10.
Oh, easily.
You could do maybe top 15. There's so much.
I would say 10. I would say 10.
Just these are our personal opinions on the top 5.
Yeah.
It could be anybody's opinion. Everybody has a different opinion. Like I hope everybody has a belly button. I wasn't going there. I know what you were thinking. I was going with that one. Not going there. But yeah, so let's hit them with the number 5.
So at number 5, we have support.
Support.
Yeah.
Support.
And the reason why is because you need to have each other's backs. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to know that your partner in crime, ride or die, that you have each other's backs no matter what. Through those ups and downs, you are going to make it through it. Because in life, there are those downs, you know, and it's going to be a struggle at times. But to know that you have the support to get through those feels amazing.
Even when times are good, you still have to support.
Oh yeah,
right.
You could be on a venture yourself. You know, for example, say you are looking to grow something, you know, or go back to college or something. To have the support of your partner to be like, yes, go do that. Like, I want you to do that. I want you to go after what you're chasing. You know, to have that support, it's like, yeah, you know, like I'm gonna go do it.
It's a good thing if somebody sits down. So bring up that scenario, right? College. Oh, I want to go back to college. As a man, it's hard, right? Because we're supporters, we're providers, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. So to sit down and say, okay, if I told my significant other, hey, I'm thinking about going back to school, I guess the words that I would like to hear is, okay, how are we going to do this together?
Yeah.
Right? What do you need from me? You know, what is my part in this? Like, that's what I would want.
How can I support you on this?
Like, how can we do this together where I can take some slack off of you so that way you can go and do what it is that you need to do.
Yeah.
That's definitely probably one of the biggest things. And that right there plays a role with the small things in life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you didn't buy me anything. You didn't take me anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do something special for me. You just specifically told me that and showed me, no matter what we do, you have my back and we're going to do it together.
Yeah.
And no bond is stronger than a support system.
No, that you know, a support system is a backbone to a relationship in a sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And some people probably would sit down and say number 5 could be a number 2 for them.
Yeah. And like we said, you and I discussed, you know, what we thought were in the top 5. You know, we sort of placed them at different parts, and then we came up with this system.
Yeah.
With this grading.
With this grading. Yeah.
You know?
Oh, another thing that I would say is a partner who supports your hobbies.
Yeah.
Right? So what is one of your hobbies?
You and I are both into cars.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, that's how we met.
Yeah, we are.
And that's a huge thing for us, you know, for if someone supports us in that hobby, that means the world, you know, because unfortunately we have an expensive hobby.
One of the most expensive hobbies.
You know, you got cars, guns, tattoos, and paintball. And then there's probably other things, but those are the things that go off the top of my head.
Oh my God, that's like everything for me.
Yeah.
And bowling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bowling.
That's true, yeah.
But bowling, I guess bowling's not that expensive.
Nah, you buy like a bowling ball once.
You're good. Yeah,
you
good
can,
for a
that can
while.
last for a while.
Yeah.
You know, paintball, you're blowing through paint like so much.
Yeah. Wait, when was the last time you went paintball?
I haven't gone in a while. I would love to go though.
Oh my God, dude! I built my gun.
Oh really?
It's mag fed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's no hop. It's straight mag fed.
I went with a guy who was a Marine way back.
Yeah.
Dude was lighting people up. He had a M4 replica as a. It was wild.
Yeah, but it had the big.
No, it wasn't on the top. It was a mag.
Oh, it was a mag fed?
Yeah.
I love it.
It was wild.
Dude.
And side note, sorry, but this was a really cool story. He would, he obviously had a conceal and carry,
right,
but he would freeze paintballs. And he would use that as a defense. He had someone try to break in when I think he was living in Queens or Jamaica, possibly.
Yeah.
And and he straight up shot him, and that dude like bolted out.
If you freeze a paintball, and you
it's a
fire
rock.
You're literally shooting a rock at somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't want to kill somebody, you just want to get them out, just start shooting with paintballs. But keep your concealed carry. Just in case.
Exactly. Back to support though.
Yeah, back to support.
When someone backs your hobbies, it means the world. You know, obviously there's be like, you probably shouldn't buy that car part, but you've been working really hard. If you've, saved extra money on the side, go for it.
Oh, how about this one? Okay, you want that car part. Let's try to work something where we can save for it.
Yeah.
And then you can, instead of putting us maybe in a hole or putting yourself 100%. In a hole, how about I help you get it? And we kind of make an envelope or something together and get that. I mean, that's never happened to me.
No, neither. Yeah.
I mean, I've had people buy me, and if I was in a relationship, they bought me a car part.
Yeah.
But if I wanted something specific, it was me having to buy it on my own.
Yeah.
I did get one gift from someone years ago, maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago. It was car seats, which was great.
Yeah. Big purchase.
That's a big purchase, right? And they were bride seats. Ooh. But ever since then, no, it's been pretty much me. I kind of keep it that way.
Yeah.
Right. But it supporting the hobby is one thing. And here's the thing about the support system and hobbies. A lot of people are losing hobbies, meaning they just don't have any.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I'll ask them, so what's your hobby? Oh, I have, I don't know. What do you like to do? I played the flute in high school. Well, you're 34.
Yeah.
You haven't had a hobby.
What do you
since?
do for fun outside of your work and relationship? Like that's a hobby to me.
Drinking is not a hobby.
No.
Going out to bars, going out to lounges, drinking all the time, going out with your friends, that's not a hobby.
Yeah.
That's something you need to socially do once in a while, but it's not a hobby.
Yeah.
If drinking is a hobby, we have something else to talk about.
You're gonna be sitting next to us, and we gotta have a talk.
Yeah, this is gonna be a meeting. It's not gonna be a podcast.
Yep.
All right, so let's shoot with number 4. Where we at with number 4?
4, we have intimacy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Intimacy.
And this one was definitely, I think, could for sure be a lot higher for some people. For me, I was ranging between 3 and 4, and that's why I think we agreed to keep it at 4.
Right.
Because the 3 that we have ahead of it are crucial.
Right.
Crucial.
Right.
But intimacy is such a huge part of a relationship.
Yeah.
It's absolutely huge.
I mean, you guys are exchanging energies at that point. It's not just, maybe when I was younger, I did whatever I wanted to do. It didn't matter who I was. I was cold-hearted. I didn't care, right? You're young, you don't give a shit. As I'm older now, I'm very picky about who I would do that with. More so at the fact that, again, it's exchanging energy. Yeah. You can't just sleep with whoever you want. There was something I heard the other day, and it was having sex is like plugging your phone into people's laptops. Would you just go around plugging your phone into everyone's laptop? No, because they can take things from you.
Yeah.
And every time that you sleep with somebody, they're taking a piece of you. They're getting a part of you that a lot of people haven't gotten. So you wouldn't just plug your phone into everyone's laptop, right? You got to be picky about whose laptop you're plugging your phone into.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, it makes perfect sense.
No, 100%.
I wouldn't think, let me let me put my thing in anything. Let me plug my thing in anything, you know? Like, oh no. And you can get a virus.
Yeah.
Things can happen, right?
Exactly.
But intimacy, we definitely could. Here's the thing about the three after this one, right? Because this one's number 4.
Yeah.
You can't have intimacy without having those next 3.
Correct.
You know, I mean, you could.
You could, but it's in a relationship, there's more of a connection there.
Right.
And it makes it, not to sound like, it makes it more special or
You're
more
just
meaningful.
fucking.
Yeah. Instead of just fucking, it's, you know, making love or something.
Right. Right. There's more to it.
There's more to
You're
it.
trying to connect versus you're trying to finish.
Just get off. Yeah.
Yeah. Get off. I was doing good with the finish part. But with the get off.
But I think with intimacy in a relationship, it's so important to establish healthy boundaries because when you openly talk about those, it allows you to emotionally and physically get closer.
Right.
You know, understanding each other's, you know, boundaries and safe words, or maybe not safe words, but points that you probably shouldn't
Pineapples.
Yeah.
Pineapples.
But you know what I mean? Like it's there are certain do's and don'ts people have, you know, and
right. But that's leading us into one of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not lead into that one yet.
No. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you got to know what somebody is willing to do and not willing to do.
Yeah.
That's the thing about getting to know somebody in the beginning is finding their boundaries. I feel like once you're in a relationship, sexual boundaries really aren't like that anymore. It's kind of like, all right, let's do what I remember what I said in the last episode, which was, you know, love is what you do, right?
Yeah.
In spite of what you feel.
Yes.
And it's one of those situations where if you want me to do something, I don't want to get too much into detail, but you want me to do something to you, not for you, to you. Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. You know, I'm all with it. I'm all with it. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things we're not gonna do, and I'm not gonna go into this episode.
But you know, that's my point. There are definitely boundaries as to what people
would
be open to.
Let's go to the next one. We'll touch base on that a little bit.
And once we get through the whole list, we can go over how these connect as well.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll
you
do
know
that.
what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at number 3, we have respect.
Yeah.
Respect is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah. Because if you don't respect each other, the relationship's not going to work. In my opinion, if you don't have respect for one another, it's not going to go very far.
No, it's not. You're just wasting each other's time. You're beating on a dead horse.
Because to me, when I get into a relationship, we discuss things, you know, how I feel about certain things, how you and we respect those things that we're talking about.
Right.
You know, for example, we've talked about this on other podcasts, guy friends. Something that I bring up very early when I'm, you know, in a relationship, you know, like I'm not crazy about you going one-on-one, hanging out with a guy,
right,
or having guy friends. You know, if you're at a group, sure, but the understanding of that, and that goes both ways though. Like I'm not looking to have a female friend by any means, because the feminine energy that I'm looking for is in my partner and no one else.
Right. Yeah, that's that guy friend thing's a tough one.
Well, what would you say is a key respect? Like if you were to you something that you would bring to your partner, like one major thing, like respect this for me.
You know, there's so many categories in respect itself, right? For me personally, it's just show me that I'm on your mind. Show me that you appreciate the things that I do.
Yeah.
Show me that you care, right? When you're talking to somebody, you're building that love, right? You're trying to build that connection. You're trying to build a friendship. You're trying to build a love because, you know, love, it's created. You can't find that. A lot of people think that they can go out and find love. No, you can't. If you think you can go out and find love, then everybody would be in love. You can't find love. Love doesn't find you. You have to have your heart open. You have to be willing to accept love first, right? And I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and what I had told him was, if you're searching for the one, but you're not practicing to be the one for someone else, you're never going to find the one. And anyone that comes into your life, you're going to think is the one, because you're in this state of vulnerability, and with respect, it's one of those things where, all right, let me know where you are if you're going to go somewhere, just so I know you're okay. Yeah. Let me know when you get home so I know you're okay.
Yeah.
If I text you, let me know, you got it.
Don't ghost me.
Don't ghost me, right?
Or zombie me, as you say.
Me. I say zombie, right? So zombie, I say zombie because I actually had that conversation with a client today. Zombie is, I think I said this on one episode, didn't I?
I think so.
Maybe like a zombie is where they ghost you for days and all of a sudden they pop back up, message you, and you're like, oh, there you go. He's a zombie me. That's nice.
No, but it's so true. It's so true with everything that you said.
Yeah.
It's so, even if it's just a check-in, like, I don't need to know where you are, but let me know that you've made it there safely.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm heading here or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm not keeping tabs on.
No, I don't. Yeah, there's no need for that.
Like I told you the story that happened on Valentine's Day, right? With that car and they pretty much were looking to rob me or rob my truck, whatever. So something happened on V-Day. I'm not going to get too much into it, but anything can happen. And you never really think that anything can happen until it happens to you. And I tell people all the time, if you are living life like nothing's going to happen to you, guess what? It's going to happen to you. Your radar needs to be open. Don't live life paranoid, but just know the risk of something happening is there. Don't take advantage every day because you never know when you're going to wake up.
Yeah.
Right? You never know when you're not going to wake up, I should say. And I like to know where the person that I care about is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Meaning, if you're home, cool. If you're about to go out with friends, whatever, cool. Let me know where you're going.
Yeah.
Right? Once you get home, just let me know. I just need to know because so something happened in my past where there was an issue with a girlfriend and an ex, right? And the ex was popping up at random places. And then at one point, I didn't hear from her for damn near 48 hours. And I'd never forget it. He picked her up from work and he told her to get in the car. She was too scared of him, so she got in the car. He took her to some cabin that he has. Nothing bad happened to her, but he was trying to convince her to take him back.
Yep.
Now, not saying that scenario is always going to happen, but it's one of those situations where let's say I'm in a relationship with somebody and they're going out to this bar, right? We'll just call it North Brunswick Tap and Grill, right? I'm just coming up with random stuff.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You're going there with friends. Let me know you got there. I'm here. Okay. Now, if I don't hear from you for the next few hours or 6, 7, 8 hours, my mind is wandering now. Okay, where are you? And if I text and I get no response, now I know the last place you were at, right? And I will go to make sure, because if it's 7, 8 hours, you're not answering from a bar. I'm going to want to know what's happening. Not because of me worried about you cheating on me.
It's a safety.
Yeah, not because I'm worried about what guy you're with. It's more the fact that I would never want something bad to happen to you. And if something does, I don't know how I can handle that. So I will go out and look for you. Yeah. I will never want you to have to go through something so bad by yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt Tuesday night when that whole situation happened and she was in the car. And I was just like, I put her in this position that I should have never put her in. But I didn't know something like that would happen. You know what I'm saying? And you got to learn from that.
Yeah.
But it's more of respectfully, let me know you're okay.
Yeah.
That's
like,
it.
The point. Respectfully, just let me know that you're good in there.
Yeah.
That's all we're looking for.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Just let me know you're okay.
Yeah. And what leads into that is, number 2, which is trust. And by respecting each other and letting you know you gain each other's trust.
Trust.
You know, when you don't send that text saying, "Oh, I'm here," you start losing trust. You know.
Yeah. When you're in a relationship, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you're dating, there's no obligations.
No, but we're talking about healthy keys to a relationship.
Healthy keys to a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's trust. Man.
Because in my opinion, once trust is lost in a relationship, it's very hard to come back from that. It's very hard. It can be gained. It can. But it depends on how hard you want to work for it.
Not even just that. It depends on the person, right? Because
and how it was broken.
Right. There's different levels to that
there's
shit.
different levels. You know, you could have just, you know, it could be just bad texting, or as they say, I'm a bad texter, or it could be a complete, you know, debacle ending type relationship. And it's like, I don't know if I trust you since you've kind of, you know, given me your word on these things, and now you're the complete opposite of that.
Right. And the other thing too is your past.
Yeah.
Will your past allow you to trust? That's the other problem.
Another past relationships, you know, cause so much trauma to people depending on how it went. You know, and people can then go into a new relationship with trust issues, which then affects that relationship itself.
Right. And now you just become another version of the person that didn't trust you.
Exactly.
You know, it kind of is that spiral effect. And it's really sad when somebody is showing time and time again that they can trust you, right? Or you can trust them.
Yeah.
And it's so guarded by the walls that have been built over the years. And it's understandable, right? Everybody deals with trauma differently. But trust, to me, if it's broken, it's broken.
Yeah.
Right. There was, I'm going to tell you a line. You tell me if you know who said it.
Oh, boy.
They said, trust everyone because it takes too much energy to not trust someone. Trust everyone. And what he said was, trust everyone to be themselves, but trust that you'll see them well. Which means if you trust a snake to bite you, you trust a thief to steal from you, you trust a liar to lie to you. Trust everyone that you see and trust that you'll see them well.
I have no. Okay, give me a hint.
Starts with a D. Dum, 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 dum.
I don't know.
DMX.
Oh.
DMX said that.
Jeez.
Believe it or not.
Really?
Believe it or not. DMX said that.
DMX.
Well
I like
said.
that. Well
rest
said.
in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, DMX.
So let's touch base on number one, the final one.
It's the final countdown.
We're going to give everybody a few seconds to think of what they think number one is.
Leave it down in the comments before we say it.
Leave it down in the comments. We're going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number one is
communication.
Communication.
It is so crucial.
Yeah.
To have good communication with your partner.
Yeah. Communication. So remember how we just said about intimacy and how you got to talk to them about knowing what it is?
They all link together.
It's literally a solid chain of 5 links that cannot be broken.
Yep.
And we've learned this over the years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've learned this over the years. And I think the type of person that I used to be versus the type of person that I am now is very different. Very different. I matured a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes a really bad breakup will do that to somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Or it won't. And the next episode is going to be about, can a person change?
Yeah.
So that's our next episode. But communication, I feel, is the foundation of a relationship.
Perfect. It really is the foundation, you know, and with communication, so many things on top of that are built. You know, you create empathy for each other. Compassion is built with one another through communication. You know, Understanding.
Right. So if you really think about communication, why is communication so important? What I always said is that delayed conflict is delayed ending. right? The more we tend to hold things in as human beings.
Yeah.
You know, and if you do something that bothers me, all right, I'm a Cancer. I wear my heart on my sleeve, right? You're gonna kind of know you did something that bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, I may not say something right away.
See, you'll never know that anything's bothering me.
Right. Good for you. So
I don't say that proudly. I mean, sometimes that's a bad thing.
right,
You know,
right.
like
Yeah,
people
well,
think that I'm.
sometimes wearing my heart on my sleeve is a bad thing too, according to some people. You know, because of me being a Cancer.
Well, I'm a
And
Gemini.
that's not me pointing a finger.
So all you astrology people out there, I'm a Gemini, so throw all the hate right now.
Everybody who's saying that he's a Cancer is saying right now, oh my God, he's sensitive.
No, Geminis, they're the worst.
They're
sign
evil.
Out there.
Yeah, they're evil. Anyways, but communication, again, back to what I said before, the more that you hold things in, it will gather like a nuke and just eventually explode. And now you end up, when you're communicating with someone, so this is how I communicate, and you tell me if you agree.
Okay.
The first time, I kind of usually let things slide. If a mistake happened, I won't address it. I'll leave it alone. Second time it happens, okay, I'm going to pay attention to it now, right? Third time it happens, I'm going to say something. And I'm not going to be an asshole. I don't yell. I don't scream. I don't curse. If you have to communicate by raising your volume, by using profanity, in order to get your point across, you have a problem.
Yeah.
It's not even just a communication issue. You don't know how to intellectually communicate without going into those that spiral of anger and frustration and yelling. And I don't do that. The way I'm talking to you is the way I'm going to talk.
Yeah.
So I would sit down and say, all right, you know, you did this and it bothered me. And then you might sit down and say, oh, I never did that. Well, you did. You did. You did it here and you did it there.
Yeah.
You know,
I have the receipts.
Right. And it's not because I'm overly paying attention, but you know when something bothers you, something bothers you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're going to remember it.
You're going to remember it for sure. And I would sit down and say, babe, this is what I feel. This is what's bothering me a little bit. And I kind of don't like when you do that. And I know you don't do it consciously. It's definitely subconscious. So what can we do together to make sure that this doesn't happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Out of respect for me.
Right. Out of respect for me.
Which goes back to that.
And you can't communicate by saying, you do, you.
When you are pointing the finger aggressively, it's going to go nowhere.
It's going to go
nowhere. Like you said, you have to go into that conversation calm and level-headed. Because when the emotions start, creeping in and like you said, voices will be raised, maybe derogatory or curse words and all that will come into play. That's when there is going to be a break in either trust, feeling support from one another, in any of these.
Right.
Right.
You can't, when you get to that point of anger or frustrations, or you hit them with you did this, you did that, you knew you shouldn't have done this, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Now you instantly force someone to put their guard up.
They're going immediately into a defensive mode.
Right. And then you get nothing built across.
Yeah.
Now that bomb is going to start to explode.
Yeah. You're exploding and they're going into a shelter.
Right. And with communication, so this is my advice to anybody in a relationship that needs to learn how to communicate. When something bothers you, don't jump the gun right away. That's one of the worst things you can do. Like if it happens, boom, you jump the gun. You're going to react without thinking. You have to take a step back, analyze what happened. Okay, how could this scenario have been different to make me feel better? Now you analyze that scenario, and then you sit down with your partner and you say, listen, I just want to talk to you about something. This happened and this happened. And again, I know you probably didn't mean it. Or if you did, I want to know why. But I don't want it to happen again. So can we sit down and figure out it? And you don't want to sit down and say, oh, I know I'm being overly sensitive. But no, because at the same time, if something bothered you, something bothered you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're fucking sensitive or not.
No.
If something bothered you, it bothers you. And you need to sit down and talk about it.
You have to bring it up, because if you don't, you're going to become a bomb and you're going to explode and it's going to be bad.
Yeah. And if you can't sit down with your partner and talk to them about that,
it's not a healthy relationship.
it's not. And they can't empathize with you.
No.
And say, okay, you know what? I understand why you reacted this way. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way, or I didn't mean for it to come across that way, or I know it looked that way, but that's not the way it was supposed to be. Then you sit down, you talk about it, and let me tell you, man, you feel so much better.
When someone understands how you're feeling, when you're explaining to them what like bothered you, and they truly just like, why didn't you bring this up to me sooner? Or like, I'm sorry that I made you feel this way. It's like, that's all we're looking for, you know, and then a resolution, you know, some sort of, you know, figuring it out together.
Right. Yeah. You feel so much better.
Yeah.
It's like a weight lifted off of your shoulders.
Well, you know, the more you hold it in, the heavier weight that you're going to feel on your shoulders. And it just, when it gets to, you know, months to years of you just holding it back in, because I've been that person. I have. And I've, you know, reflected on that in the past, you know, and I had to learn and all that. But when you hold it, because I'm truly one of the most chillest people that people, you know, will come by. Right. It takes a lot for me to get angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when there's a person that is continually pushing your buttons and testing and pushing your boundaries and your respect, and I still don't say anything, then it becomes very bad, because I should have gone right when I thought so. Instead of shutting my mouth, I should have gone and asked for a conversation for it to be figured out. And it could have probably been worked out a little bit easier. And that situation would have been diffused. Instead, 2 years later, there's an explosion.
Right. And if your partner can't empathize with you, meaning if you sit down and say, this bothered me and this bothered me, and then they try to flip it onto you, that relationship is already dead. Yeah. That relationship's done.
Yeah.
You're just holding on for whatever reason you're holding on to. Either you don't want to be alone, or you just love that person too much because you don't care what they do. That relationship is toxic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said before, it's me and you against the world, right? We're a team. We do things together, right? We take over the world together. We fight together. You know, we cry together. We laugh together. We hug. We kiss. We go places. We do everything together.
And you're listing every single thing right there.
Right. Those are the 5. And that's how you build that bond, you know? And why would you want to marry somebody that you can't even talk to?
Oh, no. If you can't properly communicate with your other half, you're doomed. Right. You know, you shouldn't be going into that marital merit. You know, you shouldn't be going into a marriage. You shouldn't be doing that sanctimony, if that's
Yeah. No, I see where you're going with that one.
You know, you shouldn't even be touching that. That shouldn't even be a thought.
Shouldn't even be a thought.
That needs to be, those kinks in that relationship need to be worked out before you even have that as an idea.
Yeah.
You know,
and with communication, that builds everything else.
Oh yeah.
Right. You build trust with it. Right. What was the third one?
You get respect.
Respect.
You know, with communication, you figure out how to respect each other. You know, what are your boundaries? What are, you know, opinions that you need to respect each other? Because we can have different opinions, you know.
Yeah,
but I
which
respect
is
you.
1000%.
You can have your own opinion, but I respect you.
Right.
But that happens through communication.
Right. Like, I'm not going to shut down your opinion on something.
No.
You know, if you have an opinion on something, it is what it is, right? Everybody has an opinion on something.
Yep.
And with communication and respect, it's you build that foundation, right? Now, when you go into the intimacy part, you're not going to be real intimate with
if you
somebody
can't properly communicate,
right? Who you don't have respect for, who you don't have trust for, who you can't communicate with.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you do it? You're just a sitting duck.
No.
Right.
And I definitely don't want to be, you know, having any fun with a mummy.
Right. I'll just lay here, finish. Missionary impossible.
Yeah. But it's so true how communication is the foundation of the relationship and intertwines with every single one of these.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
and with communication, again, you know, you can add empathy as number 6 or number 2 and
being honest, but that's, you know, part of trust and communication and
respect.
You know, respect.
Yeah. So there's so many things that fall into these, which is why we felt like those were the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, we did think of another one, but
Yeah, we had a couple, but the 4 that are before, the 4 that are prior to communication all interlock. So can other ones, but these were more full breakdown, like the compounds of them.
right.
You know,
Right. And you
like
have
the other
to
ones
be,
are accessories. You know,
yeah, yeah. You have to be. Oh, it's kind of like what was that? I forget what the graph was. It was a not a. Anyways, I can't even think of it right now. I'm not that. I haven't been to school in a while.
stick around, fuck around, find out.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
No, it was. I forget what it was. It was a bubble. You put something and you branch off of it. I forget what the name of that what that graph is called. Put in the comments if you remember. Sorry, I haven't been to school in a while, so I don't remember that.
We're old.
But yeah, again, all of these tie into communication, especially support, right? So let's go backwards, right? Okay, if I trust you, then I'm going to show you and tell you the things that you need to hear. That's communication. If I respect you, I'm going to sit down and tell you the things that you need to hear. I'm going to show you what you need to see, right? Because communication isn't just talking. Communication is also what you see.
Yeah.
Right? Actions. And they say some people's actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. It's a perfect quote.
It's a perfect thing. Now, let's go into number 3. Well, we said respect, right? Respect leads into communication. Intimacy, you're not going to do that without communicating with somebody, right? And supporting.
When you support someone, you build trust, and you also communicate through supporting.
Right, right.
They're all interlocked. It's as simple as
it's like
simple as
communication is that first chain, and then everything else attaches to it.
It's just like a little thing that's off of it.
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But let's hit him with a Cody's quotes.
Ooh, got you.
Tell me when you're ready.
Where is it? Okay,
All right,
got it.
It's Cody's quotes time.
Cody's quotes.
Hey,
It's Cody's quotes.
it's Cody's quotes.
It's Cody's quotes.
It's on a note.
That's right. No phone. On a note.
And bam.
You ready?
Yeah, that was good. That was better that time.
Yeah, it was better. We're getting there.
You said, what did you say?
It's not in a phone because it was on the
I'll
phone.
take that. I'll take it.
Nah, I'm going to come up with we should come up with a jingle.
Really have to come up with
Yeah, we're going to come up with a jingle and then put it in the soundboard and then just click.
Yeah, let's come up with it right now. Hold on.
No.
It's not happening. You
right,
just
ready?
knowed me. Okay, let's go.
Here
Hit me with it.
A healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your friends, your dreams, or your dignity.
Fuck. I don't know if I agree with that.
Interesting.
Sacrifice is one thing,
Okay.
but okay. Say it again.
A healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your friends, your dreams, or your dignity.
Okay, hold on. I do agree with that.
I was going to say, because there's some things that we mentioned prior.
No.
That
it was the word sacrifice that didn't click with my head right away.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to sit down and say, if you want to do something in life, right? But I'm in a position where I don't have much wiggle room.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to sacrifice something in order for you to get what it is that you want. But you're not asking me to do that. I'm willing to sit down and say, okay, you know what? I might be able to work with this. Let me see what I can do. Let's figure this out together, how we can get it done.
Yeah.
Right. Friendship thing, you know off the bat, some people have some toxic fucking friends. You know what I'm saying? And I will never sit down and tell somebody, you can't hang out with that person. You got to figure that shit out on your own.
Yeah.
But if that person is coming between you and I, best believe I'm going to communicate that to you.
And that's my point, is because I've been in relationships where my partner would get mad if I hung out with my friends, even though my friends were not the issue. Mm-hmm. And I surround myself with people that I very much trust and consider family, and I know are a core good group. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't surround myself around them if I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
Every single one of those people, including you, is someone I would take a bullet for, or I know would do the same thing for me. But if you have someone that's like, you can't hang out with them why, you need to spend more time with me or whatever. It's
Right.
like, I very much believe in, I as me as a guy, just for example, me as my guy, me as
my guy.
me as my guy, me as a man, I need to go hang out with my boys. Just like my girlfriend or my wife, they need to go hang out with their female friends or friends in just general.
That's their external support group.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't take that away.
No.
You can't take that away.
You need friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Your dreams, that goes into the support. Right now, we are doing this right now.
Right.
We need the support of our loved ones for this that we are doing for everyone right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Literally.
without that, they'd be like, why are you wasting your time on that podcast?
Right.
If they're acting like that, I'd be like, all right, peace. Like, if you're not gonna support me in this, then
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah. Somebody told me the other day, they were like, oh, you have a podcast? Yeah. Oh, that's like the wave. Everybody's doing it. Not everybody hits 6.5 million views.
Exactly.
Right. But I agree with you.
And then as far as your dignity, that goes into, at least this is how I see it.
Okay.
If I'm allowing that person to mistreat me and change my values and views on life because I'm trying to cater to them and not stay true to myself, that's losing my dignity. If I'm losing who I am when you meet me because of your beliefs and how you want to like run me,
Right.
I feel like that's losing your dignity, a part of you,
Right.
Yeah.
And that falls into the next episode.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to talk about that one in the next one. I agree with everything you're saying, man. I really do. Again, when you first said it, the sacrifice part didn't hit me right away.
Was the wording of that?
The wording of that.
Are you
Yeah,
thinking
that's
of
why I
like
said
someone
replay
being
it again.
sacrificed?
No. No. Off with your head, sonny.
No, but when you go into a relationship, that person is liking and falling in love with you for who you are. Once you get into that relationship, you can't allow that person to change you.
No.
Because then you're losing who you are and who they fell in love with.
Yeah. I mean, everybody changes a little bit in a relationship.
But not to your core.
Not to the core. Like your core beliefs, your core foundation is still there.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you build a house and sometimes you change the windows,
that's fine.
It's still the same house.
Yeah. Change
right?
the front door.
You just
change
change a couple of things. Right. And that's how it is with your significant other. They may pick up a trait from you or sentence from you or something you like to do, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So you're not changing for someone. You're just picking up little traits here and there.
You
finishing each other's
pick up
sentences.
habits. You pick up, little things here and there. But the things that make you who you are, you can't lose those because then you lose yourself.
Right.
And that relationship is not going to be good.
No, it's not.
Because then you're going to feel like you're only in that relationship for that person and you're not living your own life. You're only living theirs.
Right. So let's end it off like this.
Okay.
If somebody is watching this right now and they're in a relationship or looking for a relationship, what would you say to them?
If you are looking for a relationship right now,
or talking to somebody, let's do with that. Talking to somebody or in a relationship.
Okay. You need to be open with each other. You need to communicate. You can't hold things back to an extent. You're not just going to immediately jump on a reaction. Like you said, you need, if something bothers you, analyze what happened. Think back on it. Let it culminate and see what went down, and then bring it to their attention.
Yeah.
And discuss that. Go over your boundaries and how you're feeling. I truly, communication is the key.
Yeah.
You have to. If something bothers you, you have to bring it up. Don't let it fester.
Yep. I agree. If I had to answer that question, I would say you are going to be bringing some shit to the table, and they're going to be bringing some shit to your table. But you can't go to a doctor and ask a doctor to fix you without you telling them what's wrong. And as much as we sit down and we try to avoid our past has made us who we are. Our past has developed us in a certain type of way and has We have some certain types of manners now. We have some traumas. We have some things that we have been through, some things we have seen. And you have to communicate that with your partner. We all sit down and say you should never talk about the ex. That's bullshit. We need to know what did the ex do to you that I need to be wary and be aware of, that maybe it might pop up. Maybe they cheated on you and you have a hard time trusting. Yeah. I need to know that, right? Did you take time to work on yourself? That's another thing. You can't. The problem is when you're dating somebody or you're starting to talk to somebody or you're getting in a relationship, the one thing you don't do is fall in love with the person you want them to be.
Yeah.
You have to fall in love with the person that they are. You can't change people. And you can't look for the one if you're not looking to be the one for someone else. You have to be just as ready as they are. And things get misconstrued when someone is looking for the one. They've been trying to be the one. They see someone. They see their potential. Then they fall in love with this made-up person in their head.
Yeah.
And the only person that's going to get hurt is you. You can't go through life that way. And you eventually are going to find yourself alone if you keep searching for perfection. Know what you're willing to deal with and know what you're not. And everybody out there thinks that they have options. You don't. Yes, there's 7 billion people, but you don't have that many options as you think you do.
Yeah.
Find someone. If they're giving you time, give them time back. Communicate, trust, respect. Learn how to learn them, learn what they love to do, learn them and support them, and you guys will be able to work anything out. But it all starts with communication.
On that one, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Please leave a comment down below on maybe a thing that you think is a key to a healthy relationship. Please leave that down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one.
Also, hit the notification bell at the top so you don't miss an episode. I learned that.
Very true.
See you.
Peace.